Hello and welcome to this take 7 of me trying to do this intro. I cannot speak today, it's not coming out, but fingers crossed this is the one. My name's Adam Claydon and I'm with the boys Joshua Aitken and JJ Harding. This week we are talking about Question Time. We are asking each other some random video game style questions. Have you ever been on a real life side quest? Or what's your earliest memory, or what's your guilty pleasure in game? Stuff like that. I'm going to go do another take now, so I'll see you in about 2 seconds. Clap. Happy Christmas.
We did,
You liked that one, didn't you? You liked that?
You paused. You went 3, 2, 1, an invisible number, and then you clapped.
I think you'll find that was the internet delay. It was not my fault.
Ah, yes.
I don't know.
That delay.
I saw your face. I saw the face of intent, bro.
You just got pranked by the Prank Patrol.
The Prank Patrol. Here we go.
Oh, Prank Patrol. That makes me feel so British and old.
The fact that you're British should make you feel British.
Well, one I remember is they tried to convince this girl on a sleepover that it was like aliens had invaded their house, and it was literally the plot of E.T. They just rehashed E.T. The best bit though is when they have to call up their mate to make sure they're coming. Imagine all of the ones that they've had to cut because the mate said no.
Yeah, imagine that.
Literally.
How many lost episodes are there of Prank Patrol out there?
There must be so many where the person's found out and they've just been just act scared for TV, act like you're afraid.
Yeah. There was one person where they were taken to a military bunker or something. It was this little kid, and he's just laughing the whole time, and you could just tell he totally knows, and he's just giggling along. And when they asked him at the end, "Oh, did you have any idea?" He was like, Yeah. Some terrible actor who's getting paid 50 quid for this has just taken me away in a van with my dad in the back.
Yeah. I've been kidnapped with my dad. I've got nothing to do with the army. I've never been to an army base.
My father.
My father works in Asda.
Yeah.
We have no discernible skills between us that would help save the world in any event.
Crazy, man.
Crazy. How are you doing, boys? How has the break been? By the time we actually release this, we would have missed a week. So what's been going on in your lives in the last couple of weeks?
I'm falling to pieces, man. I'm so unwell. I think my wisdom teeth are also coming in, which is quite painful.
Oh, painful, man.
Need to get a burly man to open my mouth and have a look inside. And then I'll go to the dentist.
Yes.
Dum-dum.
What have I been doing? I've been working. I was going to do overtime this weekend because I've got a wedding to pay for, but
Jesus, man, stop fucking bragging about it.
I know.
Stop being fucking engaged, okay?
Yeah, stop sounding happy about it as well.
Just stop being happy. Stop enjoying your life.
I'm sorry. I'm one of the first of my closest friendship group from Cornwall to actually be engaged.
Yeah, but most of them just marry their sisters, don't they?
Yeah, to be fair.
Fun fact: you're actually one of the first people to be engaged from Cornwall.
Yeah.
Generally speaking, they're virgins. Fun fact: JJ's parents are actually both virgins.
Yeah, they are. It's true.
It's quite a ceremonial ritual, isn't it?
Yeah, I was born from the blood of a goat, the snout of a dog, and sugar, spice, and everything nice.
What actually happens is when two people from Cornwall try to make a baby together, what they do is they essentially make a large pasty, and if the gods allow it, then a baby will burst then from that Cornish pasty.
Spawn from the pasty.
Yeah, but you have to cook that pasty. You have to cook that pasty at the bottom of a rainbow. Sitting on a surfboard.
At the bottom of a coal mine or a tin mine, I think, actually.
Well, no. If you want a girl, you'd go to a tin man.
Or a girl.
Yeah.
What the fuck are we talking about today?
I just said a tin man as well.
We're a week late and we're already talking shit.
Okay, this week we're doing a bit of a Q&A, so we've got some questions for each other. We're going to ask each other random video game questions we're going to discuss, and we've got a couple of questions from our keen listener as well.
Yeah, a keen listener.
Who?
They've wished to remain anonymous.
Do they wish to remain anonymous?
Abdominus.
Abdominus.
They wish to remain abacus.
Yep, they wish to remain Mathematicus.
They wish to remain Optimus Prime.
I wish to remain Abacus.
Abacus.
Nay, I, Abacus.
I, Abacus. Abacus.
Abacus abdicabitus.
Brilliant. Okay, let's move on. So we've got 3 questions each for each other. These are things we've never discussed before. We don't know where it will go. This is a short episode, but it's gonna be an hour and a half by the sounds of it. So,
100%.
JJ, I think you're probably prepared. So you always look prepared.
Yeah, I've got questiones. I feel like I'll start with one of my, I guess, weaker ones. A game you'd like to play from the villain's perspective.
Oh,
Pokemon. I want to be Team Rocket.
You want to be Team Rocket? Hell yeah, man!
In like Red, Blue, Fire Red, Leaf Green, whatever, you go up the Nugget Bridge in Celadon City, Cerulean City, and at the end you ask, do you want to become part of Team Rocket? And you don't get an option. It just assumes that you say no. I want the perspective of you get to say yes, and then it takes you on a new trajectory. Do you know what I mean?
The bad guys in Pokemon who catch them and make them fight, and then there's the good guys in Pokemon who catch them and make them fight.
How long is it going to be before Peter cancels Pokemon?
I'm sure they've tried. I'm sure I've read some of that they tried at a point.
They must have.
My answer to that question, JJ, would be Halo, specifically from the perspective of a grunt.
Oh, yes.
I'm specifying that because obviously you play as the Arbiter at a point, but I specifically want to play it from the perspective of these like little weak... Surely just for a scene when Master Chief arrives and everything goes fucking batshit.
What if you play as that one you can find as an Easter egg at the end of Halo 3?
Yeah, it's singing the song.
Stolen from the military when you were 6 years old. Boo-hoo, poor you. I don't know what I'd do without the gas.
I replayed a bit of Halo 3 the other day because I booted up my Xbox 360. I thought, let's have a go. I didn't realise, I spoke to Josh about this before, I didn't realise you can't aim in that game. I was so like my mind
no
just
ADS.
Didn't work. I was like, I'll play a bit of Apex, and now I'll go back and see, let's do a bit of Halo 3. And you couldn't aim. Like, it's so weird.
Did you try clicking down on R3?
No, yeah, okay, yeah, fair enough. It's a different layout of buttons. But not all weapons do aim. If they haven't got a sight, they don't aim. Do you know what I mean? So I remember when we used to play Modern Warfare at the weekends or Halo 3 at the weekends, but I don't remember a time where not being able to aim was a problem.
Yeah.
In Overwatch you don't, unless that character has that given skill. It's all just hipfire. I would like to play Mario from the perspective of a Goomba and make it a horror game. Could you imagine how horrifying that would be?
That would be
Mario
horrifying.
Just running after you, and when he does that little he does that little trippy step before he runs a bit faster.
Yeah.
Imagine that in first person, but you're literally 2 foot tall, and he's like 6 foot tall.
And he's throwing fucking his cap at you.
Yeah, and like later on in the levels and stuff, there's like fireballs and shit.
I always see Goomba as an ethnic insult.
No, I don't like these Goombas coming over here, taking our jobs, looking like mushrooms. Not having it.
Or an Italian pasta, like chicken Goomba.
Chicken Goomba. Oh, that sounds
That
nice.
sounds quite tasty, actually.
Doesn't it?
I think, though, like, you know where the cap sort of takes over the persona of the Goomba and they can build them or you become the Goomba. If you're talking about a horror game, so he's being possessed by the cap. Imagine like his horrific time whilst he's being possessed by this cap.
Oh God, yeah.
Do you think they're aware?
I hope they're not, for their sake, really.
Yes, me too.
I mean, have you played the end of Mario Odyssey?
Yeah. I've finished it, yeah.
I've not even played Mario Odyssey.
Okay, spoiler scat.
Chicken Goomba, ooh.
I'm a scat man, the end,
man.
you cap Bowser himself and you play as Bowser for a little bit. It's freaking sick.
Mario Odyssey is fucking excellent.
But when you go through his memories, you see like all the times him and Mario have like fought and stuff.
Made love.
Freaking amazing.
Tug of War.
Tug of War. Eiffel Tower.
Adam, what's your question?
I've got a few questions. I'm going to go with the first one. What is your guilty pleasure?
What in gaming or just generally?
In video game, please.
In video
What's
games.
your guilty little pleasure? Or a game that you've never told anyone you've played but actually really fucking enjoyed?
Oh, there is one, but I'm just trying to think of it.
I used to really enjoy Viva Pinata. Do you remember that?
Oh, hell yeah. Viva
Xbox
Pinata was
360.
ace, man.
It was fucking great. You run around, no surprise here, as a pinata, and it's a party. And you're living as a pinata in a party world. It's like, that is it. There's nothing more to it.
There was a cartoon series on Nickelodeon as well.
No way.
That's horrible.
Yes, way. It was pretty funny as well. I remember, well, for a kid. It was just a load of like sweet jokes and stuff.
Yeah, but you look back at them and they'll be all about. They'll be for the dads. Those jokes, those sweet jokes.
Yeah.
Wow, you sure have a sweet ass.
Yeah.
Your candy ass. My guilty pleasure mine would probably be Bella's. Like, I can't remember the specific name, but one of the hunting games. It's like a big hunting game.
Oh,
I used
yeah.
to love playing it. It's just the worst fucking gameplay, and the actual idea behind it, you're playing as like a rich dude on safari hunting like beautiful, majestic animals. But I fucking loved it. I used to play it all the time and used to just fucking love this game. Don't know why I liked it, but I did.
When are you going to have the opportunity to fell a giraffe?
Exactly.
Or slaughter an elephant in real life? Like,
when am I ever going to be in the Serengeti and shoot an elephant in the face?
without being cancelled, so...
It's a safe way to do
Who
it.
wouldn't want to shoot a giraffe?
I once kicked a giraffe to death. That's just
In a video game.
For any Scottish people listening, that's a reference to Still Game. They would call me out if they did listen to that as not being originally from me.
I mean, I feel like a lot of people's guilty pleasure game has got to be Dead or Alive, right?
What? Because you masturbate to it. That laugh is deafening in terms of what it tells me.
Well, not me specifically. No, but it's one of those things where it's like, oh, Dead or Alive, should we play it just for a joke? Should we play it but just for a joke? You know, just like, should we just like seriously play it but just for a joke?
I used to play Dead or Alive with my dad.
What? You played Dead or Alive with your dad?
Yeah, my dad loves fighting games. Used to play Dead or Alive and used to play Soul Calibur with my dad every week.
Irritatingly, Dead or Alive is actually a decent fighting game.
Oh, it's great. I loved it.
As Dead or Alive 5 you're on about, right?
It was for the PS2.
Yeah, the fighting games they make are pretty decent. It's the freaking beach volleyball ones where you're like, really?
Ah, you're talking about the beach volleyball ones.
See how many points you can get in this photo shoot, and you're like, really?
Listen, there's no kink shaming in this podcast.
Anyway, that isn't my guilty pleasure game.
What is?
I'm sorry. I'm really sorry about this. Sonic 06. I really enjoyed.
You.
Loading times and glitches aside, I thought it was pretty goofy and pretty great.
I don't feel like I know who you are anymore.
It was because I found it kind of funny. I guess I took it as a joke. I don't know. It was the fact that Silver like comes back in time to kill his ancestor Sonic, and it's like, what? Why is Sonic the Hedgehog being hunted by a freaking Terminator? It was crazy. It was brilliant. And he turns up like, I finally found you, the Iblis Trigger. And Sonic's like, whoa, what? The hell, man? Don't have a cow. It's just brilliant. Yeah, and he like, a princess kisses him to resurrect him, and it's just funny. It's just funny.
Maria.
Joshua, if you need to go get your dinner at any point.
No, listen, I can wait until we're done. My first question is, if you could become any video game character, who would you like to become? Like, if you took their place in the game.
Right, we got to think about this one, because I feel like straight away I'm thinking God of War.
I have an answer, so I can give mine if you want. Mine's would be Leisure Sweet Larry, from the game series.
What? So you can be what? So you can be rejected from being laid all the time? Oh, sounds fantastic, mate.
Some of those, he fucks in some of those games, man.
He fucks in some of those games.
I don't know.
Yeah, I'll follow on with that. I'm gonna go Octodad, because I really relate to the struggling marriage, tough time with the kids.
Is that so you can feel what it's like to be loved by a woman?
And if anyone's out there right now, my address is, and just turn up.
Oh my god.
I might reciprocate.
It's beautiful, man. Beautiful. True romance.
Hey, he's got a hell of a house, ladies. I'm telling you.
He can cook really well. Adam's a great cook. That's
Adam is a
bonus.
great chef, actually.
I can cook quite nicely, and I can make you have nice tastes in your mouth.
He's also,
Cumin.
and I can say this firsthand, a very tender lover.
We shared a bed, didn't we? And it
We
was a
shared a
very,
bed. It was a
tender night. I think
it was an out of body experience, if I have to be honest.
Whoa, that sounds dreamy.
We woke up at the same time as well. It was just
Somehow,
beautiful.
I think one of us farted.
I think we both farted at the same time, and you know it.
Yeah.
Just majestic.
JJ, what about you? What's your answer?
I would probably go for the protagonist from Monster Hunter World.
Which one? Because it's the RPG, so you can be anyone in that. Just yourself in that world.
I mean, what? So it has to be a different person.
It doesn't have to be.
What? Do I want to be a shithead mog? Nah, I'm all right.
Racist.
Nothing wrong with that. First of all, can we put that out there, everyone? Nothing wrong with being a shithead mog, but
Nothing wrong with it.
Well, in the new one, you can have a dog, can't you? So maybe that one. Okay. Oh, so right. It can't be like a custom character. It literally has to be.
It can be, if you want, it can be a custom character, but for the sake of the question, just make it a character.
Okay.
Custom character speaks more about the world than it does about the character itself.
That's true. It's true. Oh, freaking Geralt of Rivia.
Nice.
100%.
Triss or Yennefer?
Yennefer.
Good answer. The correct answer.
Yennefer for personality purposes. Yeah. I personally think Triss is better looking, but I think Yennefer has that kind of, she's a little bit mean, and I kind of like
that. Yeah, you like that.
Yeah, you like that.
You like that.
Yeah, you like that. It's like that moment where she throws the bed from the top of Kaer Morhen Tower, because she found a red hair on it from when you were with Triss. He doesn't know. Adam's just shaking his head. Yeah, but like,
I've played the first little bit of the game, and I need to go back into it because I think what actually happened was I played Skyrim, and then I tried to play God of War, and then I tried to play The Witcher all in a row. I think I needed a break. So so after that, I played GTA 5.
Different vibe entirely.
And then I went into Titanfall after that. So I think I can't play games that are too similar in a row. Do you know what I mean? Not that they're that similar, but they're still fantasy genre.
I understand. I completely understand what you mean.
Next question. Okay, this is
Geralt of Rivia, 100%.
Okay, I'm going to go and grab this pizza so you discuss your answers, and I'll be back in 5 seconds.
JJ, have you ever found yourself in a real life side quest?
Oh, dude, I feel like I have side quests all the freaking time.
All the time. Tell me your favourite side quest that you've been on.
If you're in full-time work, right, and you're auditioning for things on top of that, you are in a constant side quest.
Always,
to see
everything's
if you can
side
get
quest.
a new main quest.
Well, what's the most bizarre side quest you found yourself on? I'll give an example. So one I can think of is I was living in North London at the time, just finished rehearsals like 8 in the evening, and London town. And there's this family of I found out later they were Pakistani. Hello. We are doing our video game side quest tales. You're joining me as I am somewhere in between Turnpike Lane and Wood Green, and I've just encountered a Pakistani family who are moving into their house. It's 8 o'clock on a Friday night.
Nice.
They're moving their shit, they're taking all stuff out of a taxi. So I help them bring it in, get to know them. I can't remember their names. It was about 4 years ago, but they invited me in. We had the most beautiful food in the world and just sat and chatted. On their first day, they moved into this house, and I was like, "This is the weirdest side quest I've ever been on." In London as well, you don't expect that. I know, JJ. My experience of you in London is that you said hello to everybody, and I've never seen anyone do that in London before with confidence, which is lovely.
Some people give me funny looks, but I always find if you catch eyes with somebody, it's just impolite not to say, oh, hi, how are you, or you're
no,
right.
I'm a country boy as well, so I get that, but I'm streetwise as well. There we go. That's my little side quest.
Oh, I love that. I don't know. I
like that.
Random things tend to just happen to me. Like
that's the nature of. They are random, so the random things tend to just happen.
It's freaking like a couple of weeks ago. No, like last summer. Now I was walking Teddy, right, and this guy's got this hound, right, and it's a proper big freaking dog, and we're walking through loads of fields and stuff, and anyway, this dog leaps over a fence and starts absolutely terrorizing these sheep, right? Not like in a nasty way, not like biting them or anything, but just chasing them. And this guy's like in his mid-60s,
being a dog, yeah.
This guy's in his mid-60s, and he's like get it. The dog's not having any of it. So anyway, I had to climb this tree to get over the fence, and like I had to I was running after this dog, like, get here, trying to get him to play with me instead, kind of thing. And anyway, at one point he like tackles the sheep, and it's at that point I have to like grab him by the scruff and pull him off the sheep, and then go, come here, mate. And anyway, he notices that I'm keen to play as well, so he starts chasing after me, and I get him, and eventually I get him over this fence again. It's freaking nightmare, man. Freaking nightmare. Oh, and the other day, this guy, he was... There's a canal in Bradford and Avon, right? So there's loads of barges.
It's very similar to what I ate on my Pakistani evening, that.
What?
Barges.
Barges. Nice. So he pulls up and he goes, "Excuse me, mate." And I'm just walking or whatever, and I go, "Oh, hi, buddy, you okay?" And he goes, "Yeah. How is it immoral to move somebody's house?" And I said, "What?" And he goes, "Well, I need to park my barge, but this guy's parked too close to this guy. But I can't move anymore because I've got to refuel." And I was like, "Right." And he goes, "Would you do it? I'm only going to move it like 6 feet." And I was like, I was like, "Yeah, I mean, if you've got a mobile home anyway, surely 6 feet isn't going to..." He was like, "Okay, could you help me get in?" So we have to, yeah, exactly. So I took this other boat from its mooring, pushed it 6 feet so that this guy could get in.
Jesus.
And I still don't know how to feel about it today. I don't know whether I did a bad thing or...
Sounds kind of like breaking...
I
in a way it's
him the
breaking
next
an
day.
entering.
Well, is it breaking and entering though, or is it just... Because I just kind of shoved the boat 6 feet.
Ah!
So, like, imagine there's a parking space, but it's in the water. A mooring.
I'd say that's not illegal, in theory, because, a strong current or wave could have moved it anyway.
Oh, those strong currents and waves in canals.
Yeah. Fame.
Yeah, the tide of the canal. As it
The tide of the
wafts
canal.
back and forth with the moon cycle.
Oh, man.
Yeah, in terms of stories, it's weird because I feel like random stuff like that happens to me fairly regularly, but to the point where I don't remember it.
Maybe it's something about our faces, Josh. Maybe the people just look at us and go, "Yes, this person will help me."
I'm feeling a bit like yourself as well. I tend to just talk to people, like when I'm walking about, and then through that I like to involve myself in other people's lives. But a story that does spring to mind, it's not the same kind of thing as what you guys have been saying, but I'll describe it as it's a time I felt like an NPC in the story of other main characters.
Love it.
Oh no.
No, but in like a nice way, not
I
like
feel so insignificant. I feel like an NPC.
not like a random NPC, like someone else, like as if I was like, you'll understand what I mean when I tell you the story. So my friend was going to an audition. It was somewhere in London. It was in a small theatre. I can't remember which one, but there was a cafe in the theatre, and his audition was like upstairs. So I went with him. I was cutting about. I went in and sat in the cafe and waited for him, and I got a plate of chips and like a coffee. Went and got like my lunch and stuff, and I was just sitting there, and lots of like, kind of folk about my age, kind of like my friend, girls and boys, were like sitting around me. And I was like, in my head, I was like, I bet these people are going into audition. I was like, this is such a strange experience to know where, I'm in the audition waiting room, but I'm not actually going into audition. I'm just kind of there. So I just started talking to people and ended up like this big group of folk. Because I was so chill about the experience and they were all very, very nervous. It was almost like radiating off of me, like chillness. Like I was basically just there, like they were like telling me all their anxieties and shit, and like calming down. Felt like, oh, I feel so calm now.
So you accidentally did a group therapy session?
Basically, I accidentally did a group therapy session, but I felt like a character in a quest line that you have to go and meet to like get something and then move on from that. Like I felt like I was a part of these folks' main story as they were like moving on. But they kept giving me food. Like that's what the thing was. Like I was
nice.
I was like giving them this like advice and like telling them to chill out, and then they'd get called up to the audition and they'd be like, "Oh, I'm not going to finish this. Do you want it?" And that happened like 6 times. So I got like 6 plates of chips and like paninis and shit. It's great.
Love it.
That's my story.
That's incredible.
Amazing.
What's your guys' worst? Diverging a little bit. What's your guys' worst audition experience? What's the worst audition you've ever had? Or like experience you've had auditioning?
So I was auditioning for Joseph and his Technicolor Dreamcoat, the touring one, right? And I did the first time I went in, I thought, I've done really well here. I've done really well.
You look biblical, to be fair.
Thank you. And anyway, I get they kind of say, "Oh, thank you very much," yada yada yada. And then somebody drops out of the cast and they say, "Oh, we'd like you to audition again." And I was like, "Oh shit, they must have liked me." So I went back to this audition. And this time it was a completely different panel. And anyway, the morning of the audition, I woke up and I sounded like an absolute frog. Like my throat was dead. And anybody who knows me knows I freaking love a bit of Joseph and his Technicolor Dreamcoat. Mm-hmm. And I was absolutely gutted. Like, I wasn't in time. I didn't hear any of the notes of the song I was singing. It was just dreadful.
Sometimes it comes down to things like, you have a dodgy voice that day, or happens all the time, man.
Thing is, but I mean, like, I thought as well, if it's the same panel, they know what I'm like from the last time, but it wasn't. It was a completely new bunch. And then there was people outside the audition room going, "Oh, I'm just really nervous because I know it's so and so and so and so." And I was like, "Oh, fucking hell, that sounds like a big name. I should probably know."
That's so and so and so and so. Oh God.
Oh God.
I've got one. I was auditioning for, I'll not name the company, it was a cruise company, and my friend had he'd previously just been on the cruise with him, so he'd got me the audition. He'd been in contact with the casting folk who he was good friends with and got me in the room, basically. So in my mind going in, I was like, this is, nearly a sure thing. It's like they're expecting me to come, they've seen my reels and stuff like that. I just need to go in and do well in this audition, and I'll probably be alright. So I go in, song went fine, and then they were like, okay, we're just going to do I don't know what you'd call it, like a pitch test, but essentially it was like, I'll play a chord and pick a note in it and sing it back to me. Plays the chord, right? I hadn't auditioned in so fucking long, right? This was like my first audition in like months. He plays the chord. I cannot find a note in it. Like it's no processing in my brain. I'm just picking random notes and singing them, and he keeps going, No, this is the chord, and keeps playing it. And then he makes it simpler, and he takes like one of the lines out the chord, and it's only 2 notes he's playing. He picks them, and he goes, like, sing one of them, still can't find it. takes another one away. He's playing one note on the piano, and I can't sing it back to him. You know that way I was starting to panic at this point. He's playing one note, and I'm singing a note back, and I sing a note back to him, and he's like, no, this note, and he keeps tapping the note, and I was like, I'm sorry, like, I don't know what's happening, I can't get it. And then he was like, okay, thanks for coming, and that was it. I felt so horrible.
Mate, that sounds like absolute agony. No, Adam, I'm not being funny. That sounds like freaking torture.
It happens to everyone though. I've had similar ones to that as well. It's awful. My one is I feel like people don't. If you're not in like the entertainment industry, performing arts, you don't quite realise that you have to go for literally like an interview for a job 3 times a week every day and get turned away But this is actually right at the start of my when I was just about to graduate. We had an audition for it was untitled, but I think it was On Your Feet, the salsa musical, and we auditioned. It was good. We got through the singing round, and then we had the dance round. And I'm a decent dancer, but I don't do any acrobatics or whatever. And on this, I was the only guy who didn't do a flip in my improv section. I was doing pirouettes and stuff. It was fine, but I was the only guy who didn't do a flip, and I was the only one to be kicked out. And I was just like, fuck. So I went straight to Argos. I bought myself an electric whisk and some cake tins, and I baked for the rest of the evening
to make yourself feel better.
Best way to deal with it.
Rather than went to the gym, I decided to eat cakes. Rather than learn to flip, for example, I just made cakes. Worth it.
Okay, who has a question? I have one more question.
What is your earliest memory of video game? What's the first thing you remember playing or seeing someone play? Like, we're talking when you were very young. But
I have a vivid memory of that. I have a very vivid memory. I was like, I don't know, I must have been like 5 or 6. It was the Lord of the Rings 2 Towers video game for PS2.
That is a lucky game.
I have a memory of sitting on my couch, and not my current house, in the house I used to live in, with my dad, both of us in pyjamas playing that split screen 2-player. It's the earliest memory of a game that I have.
Wow, that's amazing.
Love it so much.
That's quite a sweet one.
I know.
Who were you playing as? Do you remember?
Don't remember that. I think it was the bit in Helm's Deep we were at though.
Yeah,
sick.
That's such a good bit because all the characters are there as well.
Yeah,
it's my favourite. We'll do Lord of the Rings another time, but that's my favourite.
We're going to do Lord of the Rings when we hit a milestone. If we get enough listeners, that's when we're going to do Lord of the Rings. Yeah, because anybody who knows me, I've got two weapon replicas at my house. I've got freaking all the books, as in like...
All the books!
All of the books!
Full of a book!
What's your first memory of video game? John J. Carding.
I think it would have to be Croc on the Game Boy Color.
Holy fuck, that just awakened a memory for me that I didn't know I had.
Yeah, crazy, right?
Whoa.
I think it was a Christmas. And I must have been really young because I only remember fragments. But my sister and myself, we both got Game Boy Colors, and mine was yellow and hers was green. But I remember we both used to share the cartridge, and both of us just always wanted to play Croc. And I remember there was this mission where you had to get in a cart, in a little it was like a mine cart, and I could never beat it. And I remember it was the second to last mission of the game, and I didn't complete the last mission of the game until years later. And by years later, I mean by that time I've got a GameCube, I've got a PS2, the freaking Game Boy Advance has been out for years at that point. So yeah, I'd probably say that was my earliest memory. Croc on the Game Boy Color.
Very nice.
Very nice.
Very nice.
Great success.
That's not a terrible Borat impression, by the way. It's an
impression of Mac doing an impression of Borat.
Yep. It's an impression of an impression.
Mac from Always Sunny has the worst Borat impression, and it's so
very nice.
very nice.
My wife.
Very nice. Get in my belly.
Excellent.
What about you, Adam?
Mine would probably be... I'm trying to think back. Like, my parents used to play the shit out of the PS1, like all the time. I think my personal experience is GameCube. Like that's the sort of first thing I remember playing.
Yes.
But
Metroid Prime on the GameCube, man. Oh,
Star Fox,
yeah, definitely.
what,
That's
Star
on
Fox
the,
Adventures?
oh yeah.
Mine would be though just watching my parents play the original Tomb Raider. I think.
Nice.
You know what I'm talking about.
Nice cock.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
I'm doing the fingers right now.
Cone boobs.
Cone boobs.
Yeah, yep. The cone boobs.
Look at those polygons.
Look at those polygons. But yeah,
she got them polygamous titties.
JJ, what's your question?
If you were a genre of video games, what would you be?
Hentai.
Hentai games.
Those adverts you get on Pornhub that's like this game.
You won't last 30 seconds playing this game.
Those games.
Oh man, that's awful. What? Do people actually play them? I don't understand.
Do they even exist, or is it just clickbait? No, they do exist because I've seen playthroughs of them, like by like YouTubers doing these games. Some of them exist because there's like censored.
Are you on about House Party? Because House Party's different.
House Party? It might be House Party I'm talking about.
House Party is more of an RPG, and you can censor it like mad and stuff. But I guess yeah, shit. At the end of the day, I guess it is a porn game. I mean, I've seen the Game Grumps play it, and it was.
That is my official answer.
Adam, if you were a genre of video game, what would you be?
I'm trying to think back. Like, what have I played the most of? I remember as a kid, obviously, I played a lot of Pokemon.
This is you as a person, okay? Because I would probably say the reason you play Pokemon is because you enjoy things to be organized, and you
know what
enjoy
that is?
recipes and multitasking and building towards something.
I enjoy playing a game and not being stressed out. Fair enough. Okay, you're facing a difficult boss. But because it's turn based, I can go off. I can have a wee. I can grab some water. I can sort of like calm myself down before I choose my move to do. I was playing the Final Fantasy VII remake earlier, and actually I was really enjoying it. To be fair, I was really enjoying it. But I think it's better as turn based. I do. I think it's better like that.
If we boil it down, Adam is chess. Adam is a human chessboard.
I've been playing chess non-stop. But that's me, like methodical, mathematical, thought-provoked. Everything is decided because of not necessarily statistics, but like because of a reason behind it. I don't really want to be slaughtering / So something like a turn-based.
You are a JRPG.
I'm a human JRPG chessboard. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, he's a turn-based JRPG. Jerp.
JJ, what's your one then?
Because I'm quite an erratic person. Like I've got I've got like the ADHD and stuff like that.
I think you're like Doodle Jump.
No, that's the same thing over and over. No.
That grind.
Probably because I always think the difference between turn-based RPG and something like an action RPG, like Dark Souls, for me, it's really satisfying to play. Because there is no specific direction you have to go in. You can get distracted, and you can have fun with those kind of discoveries. And every weapon has a different moveset. So if I ever get bored of something, I can literally just stop doing that thing and do something else, and there's no consequences for it. Okay, so something like an open world action RPG.
Like Jedi
something
Fallen
where
Order.
I don't have to wait around for the combat. I have to figure out an enemy, or let's say there's a puzzle, right?
Like Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, like Breath of the Wild. Oh. Yeah, because Breath of the Wild has enough stress to keep me interested, right? So, like, for example, I could be walking through somewhere, I could be going, oh, I've got to get to this mission. Oh, hang on, there's a Hinox in my way. Oh, I've got to touch it. I got to touch it. I got to touch it. Big belly.
Its eye. Its big one eye.
And, like, I really like working towards, like armors and stuff like that as well, and leveling up characters. In a way, like when I go to the gym, I really enjoy that kind of progression. Like the fact that I can see that progression is, is one of the things that gives me quite a lot of joy. So yeah, I'd probably say something like that, like a
Sick.
yeah,
I agree with that.
an action RPG.
And Joshua,
I did give an answer, but I will give a serious answer. My original answer was porn games, the ones that are advertised on Pornhub.
Like House Party.
can you last
those-
more than 5 minutes?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
and it's a picture of Shrek, like,
plowing Marge Simpson.
yeah, like it's like Marge Simpson with a huge like alien behind her, something like that. Yeah. Can you last more than 5 minutes with this?
Since you guys gave
that.
like reasonably deep and profound answers, I'm gonna probably say maybe, I don't know, maybe like something like story-driven games, like
Oh
really,
yeah, I was
like,
just gonna say something like Uncharted.
yeah, like adventure games, but one that's like heavily story-driven. I love
Yeah.
that shit. I love that shit. You guys went into things a bit like personality. I think in terms of a reflection of my personality, I don't know. I'm one of those kind of people, like I like to kind of romanticize kind of daily life quite a bit, and I feel like that's maybe reflective or indicative of that.
Yeah, 100%.
Like I like things to have like a meaning behind them, not like Adam's saying, like where it's a reasoning for doing it. For me, it's meaning rather than reasoning. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
whether
I get
that be
that.
like emotional or something like that. You know what I mean?
You want to invest yourself into this world and really almost
Yes.
empathize and go on the journey with them.
I'm a big fucking hippie.
Whereas I'm being a bit more methodical and JJ's being more explorative, maybe.
Yeah. Oh, I love any game
Yeah.
with like heavy focus on exploration. But I'm quite like that in life. If I ever go for a walk, I'm never on the path.
I'm in the trees, I'm in the bushes, I'm in the ditch. I found the body!
I'm in your trash. I'm in your trash.
Yeah, I'm in the tree. I'm in the trees. I'm in the trees. I see the Avon River. I see there's nobody around. I see it's sunny. I'm jumping in there. I'm taking off my clothes and I'm going in.
Taking off my clothes and going in. The voice clip that will be played at JJ's tribunal.
Taking off my clothes and going in.
I'm currently in the production of creating a JJ voice reel.
I cannot wait.
It will come out at the end of this series, I think.
Oh my
It's-
god, no.
It's pretty good so far. It's pretty good. So if you're listening there,
I hate my regular speaking voice.
yeah, but this isn't you speaking. This is you going.
Just noises.
And then you go.
It's more of a soundboard.
Or how? That's literally what it is.
Is ready for the final question?
I think so. Let's go.
The final question. What is the greatest life lesson that you've ever took from a video game?
Oh,
Are you okay? Is everything alright, JJ?
This is going into the voice notes thing as well.
it's just really hit me hard.
Give it, hit me hard with it.
I don't know, because this might get like depressing. I don't want that.
Mine's
for
pretty
it.
depressing. I'll go straight away.
So is mine.
Okay.
The excitement and the joy of a video game is fleeting.
Oh.
And that just reminds me that any excitement and any joy is fleeting.
I feel a negative takeaway there.
So there's I can't believe I'm chatting about Dark Souls again. I'm so sorry. But there's a narrative structure behind the level design of Dark Souls, and that's the fact that you are physically and you've failed quite a lot in that game. But the levels are designed in such a way that you can go up and up and up, and it feels like it feels amazing, right? It feels like, oh yes, I'm on top of the world. Here comes the boss. Okay, I've died, but I'm still up here. And then after that, it will literally send you completely down in the other direction. You are one thing, you're in a castle. The next minute, you've just descended a ladder down a tube, and you're in the depths of hell, right? And it's that kind of thing of like, it's so reflective. It's like
Much like life.
yeah, it's literally life isn't fair, you know. I would say that's what it would teach me because I mean you guys know this, but I've especially over the last year, and I know everybody has, and over last week even, like, you know, I lost 2 granddads last year, and then recently I got this new job, and I'm earning lots of money, and I've got engaged, right? And like the other day, my grandma dies. Okay, so it's just brought completely back down again. It's it's one of those things, you know. Life ain't fair.
The top is there though.
You gotta stay positive. You gotta stay positive because otherwise you won't. Much like in a game, you won't complete life. You got to keep going.
I agree with that, but also you have to allow yourself those moments where you can be down. Down is just a normal human emotion. Like, I think everyone's experienced quite a lot of negativity and like personal questioning. Like, especially we discussed earlier about auditions and stuff, but questioning whether we should continue to pursue this career, questioning whether we should continue to strive for something we've all wanted for years. You're allowed to have those moments of reflection and those moments of like, and especially at the moment with you with a bereavement, of course you're allowed to have and feel negative about that, but it's how you pick yourself back up afterwards, I guess, is what you're saying.
Yeah, it's how you pick yourself up. It's how you just keep going.
Definitely. And it's knowing that there's that bonfire ahead, much like in Dark Souls, that you can just rest.
Yeah, much like in Dark Souls, there's a bonfire. You get a rest.
Sometimes you don't need to be at the top, you just need a rest.
Hopefully it actually is a bonfire, because that's one of my favourite things in life, I'm not going to lie.
Love a bonfire.
Oh, mate, bonfire's class. I used to have them on the beach in Cornwall with my boys. Shout out to you boys. We used to play... oh God, this is going to sound really sad. We used to play the Shire theme, like, towards the end of the night, you know, after we've had our ciders and stuff. Yeah. Yeah, it's a nice moment, you know, the sun's setting, it's summer, you got the reflection of the water, you got the fire. That's just, it's fantastic.
Love it, man. Joshua, what's your final thing to add to this episode? We're not going to have time to do the other ones, I don't think. We'll come back to those another time, but...
For me, and I'm going to try and make this as concise as possible because I have a habit of waffling. But it's a game I've spoke about before as being a game that I really love, as one of my favourite games, but it's from God of War, the newest God of War, and it's the idea of the definition of a person. And I might be reading into this a bit much, but for me and my takeaway from that is the idea of not being defined by who you were at a point or who you were in the past, and more of being defined by the person that you're striving to be and the person that you're working towards being and who you might become. I like that. I think that's hopeful.
That's a good note. That's a good note to end on, man.
Yeah, it's uplifting.
I think we all have this higher image of ourselves that we, at least most of us, try work towards, and I feel like you don't stop working towards that.
And you might encounter some hurdles along the way.
You might meet some Draugr.
Yeah.
You know, you might meet a giant snake who helps you out a bit.
Might be a fucking massive Hinox in your way, and you just sometimes you have to battle that Hinox.
Smash it to pieces.
You gotta bash him. You gotta poke him in the eye.
And this is a very good segue into, if there's anyone listening here that feels like they need someone to talk to, our messages are always open. You can contact us at Bro You Have It directly, or you can find us elsewhere online.
We always respond to a DM.
Always.
100%. Thank you, boys. That's a lovely poignant ending.
Thank you, boys.
Can you for this one, can you find like a poignant guitar riff to play out at the end? Like, you should get the Shire theme.
And it's already playing. It's already playing behind us. Don't bother whistling it. It's already playing. I'll see you next week, guys.
See you later, guys. Bye.
Bye.
Oh, that really hurt my ears, the whistling.
Thank you for listening to the Bro You Haven't podcast. Be sure to follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Bro You Haven't Pod for updates on future episodes and more. If you like this week's episode, you can catch our other episodes on Spotify, Acast, and YouTube. On behalf of myself, Adam, and Josh, have a lovely week.